the surging Denver Broncos and the Washington Commanders.
They can't stand with us. They want to be in a dog fight. They got the right dog.
Aggressive, guys.
Play 97, animate, resolve.
I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. The tough get rough in a primetime fight. More than a game, it's every fan's right. That's why we're waiting all day for Sunday night. All right, what a night, it's finally here. Sunday night football's kicking into high gear. The stars have arrived, come on, get up and cheer. Hey Jack, it's a fact, the show's back in town. Broncos and Commanders in a nasty showdown. The stadium's rocking, time to crank up the sound. The NFL's best have come to play. Coast to coast, there's just one thing left to say. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. The tough get rough in a primetime fight. More than a game, it's every fan's right. That's why we're waiting all day for Sunday night.
To the end zone, one hand, he's got it.
You have to be kidding me.
Up top, Terry, touchdown, Terry McLaurin.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
Thanksgiving weekend comes to a close in the nation's capital. Chilly 40-degree night about 10 miles away at Northwest Stadium, Landover, Maryland, home of the Washington Commanders. Their quarterback tonight, Marcus Mariota, the Heisman Trophy winner from Oregon, facing a fellow Oregon Duck, Bo Nix and the 9-2 Denver Broncos on NBC's Sunday Night Football. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us in. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark on the sideline. I hope it's been a great holiday weekend for you. Chris, these are a couple of proud, multiple Super Bowl winning franchises. Similar stories last year, right? Denver, they had a great year. They thought that maybe it would be a springboard, and it has been. They're 9-2, and now the Broncos and Sean Payton are openly talking about being the #1 seed in the AFC. What do you like about this team?
A lot, but on defense, I think the fact that they lead the league in sacks, pretty good place to start, right? But to win the Super Bowl, it's going to mean that Bo Nix is going to have a big year, and Bo loves playing on the move, whether he's outside the pocket, inside the pocket. You'll see it all night long. He went blow for blow with Patrick Mahomes and won that football game. I can't wait to watch him play tonight.
We were hoping that we were going to see it against Jaden Daniels, also in that rookie class from a couple of years ago, but he's been hurt half the year. He's out again tonight. So what are you looking for from the Commanders?
Well, Dan Quinn has taken over the defense, and I think he's trying to calm the waters out there a little bit. Not as many big plays as they've given up all season long. And on offense, I think they hope the return of Terry McLaurin means some big plays on the offensive side of the ball. Scary Terry had 13 touchdowns a season ago. Can he be the wake-up call here in D.C.?
Yeah, Washington really excited to get their game breaker McLaurin back. Just one of the many stars on display tonight. It's the Commanders and the Broncos to wrap up Thanksgiving weekend. We've got it for you next on Sunday Night Football.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
NBC Sports, home of Super Bowl 60, welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Back in Landover, 9-2 Denver. Won 8 in a row, trying to match the Patriots to the best record in the AFC. 3-8 Washington trying to stop a 6-game slide. Have some key personnel updates on both sides. For that, down to the sideline, and here's Melissa Stark. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Mike. Yes, good news for both teams as they get some important players back in the lineup. As you guys just mentioned, for the Commanders, #1 receiver Terry McLaurin returns from a quad injury. He missed 7 of the last 8 games, but he told me he finally has no pain or discomfort. He will be on a snap count. Wants to make sure he's able to be out there if Washington needs him in crunch time. As for the Broncos, they get last season's Defensive Player of the Year back, Pat Surtain. He returns after missing the last 3 games with a pectoral injury, and he said he wanted to make sure he was fully healthy and is more than ready to be back on the field. And finally, how great is it to see Broncos captain Alex Singleton on the field tonight? He was diagnosed with testicular cancer and had surgery just over 3 weeks ago to remove the mass. He missed only 1 game. I talked to him just a few minutes ago, and he said, it's a lot what I went through, but there is nothing better than this. He said the ride over to the stadium got him a little bit. He's trying not to lose it. He's trying not to cry tonight, Mike.
Wow, emotional night. Guy plays with a lot of emotion as well. Thanks, Melissa. All right, so Denver's trying to join New England at 10-2. New England hosting the Giants tomorrow night. Those are the best records in the National Football League, not just the AFC. Jacksonville has slid into the lead in the South. Baltimore, who we saw lose, but they get back to the lead in the AFC North with Pittsburgh's loss to Buffalo. They're the 3 wild cards in the AFC, all sitting at 8-4. We've got Kansas City and Houston, very important game next Sunday night. But for Denver and Sean Payton, chance to extend that lead in the West. There is Sean on the left, Dan Quinn on the right. They have met 10 times as head coaches. Remember, they were in the same division when Sean was with the Saints and Quinn was with the Falcons. These franchises met in Super Bowl 22 as a Washington blowout. The MVP of that game, one of the best, Doug Williams. There he is on the right. And the defensive stars, Charles Mann and Dexter Manley, all honored before kickoff. And that Doug Williams second quarter, one of the great quarters for anybody in the history of the Super Bowl.
35 points. It was just amazing. And one of the great guys in the game.
Yeah, and Doug still has an office right around the corner from Dan Quinn's office, right? Well, he's a big mentor to a lot of the players. When we come to see the Commanders, always stop in and get a chance to visit with Doug. Washington won the toss, defer the option, so you'll get Bo Nix and the Broncos on the field first to begin. That is Jake Moody, and this is his Commanders debut. He has been signed as the kicker. Matt Gay was released, ex-49er draft pick. He's in Chicago for a little bit this year, his 3rd team. Guy with a ton of talent, chance to settle in here, the former Michigan man. So he'll kick it off for Washington. Got Marvin Mims back deep to receive. Mims is a terrific return man. One that they would like to keep the ball out of his hands. Tyler Bidet, the backup running back, is with him as well. It was cold, nasty, and raw this morning. It was mixed snow and rain. But fortunately, this is an evening game, so it's drier. Light wind will be a factor as we go through the night, but all in all, for the last night of November, not too bad. Can the Commanders stop their slide? Can the Broncos stay hot? Well, tomorrow's the last round of The Voice before the live finale. Coaches, America, going to vote and decide who will be the final 6 and be there for that. It's The Voice Playoffs, new tomorrow on NBC and Peacock. Holiday scenes around the capital area, Sculpture Garden, and the ice rink. Lots of folks doing plenty of things. Nothing to do, and as Chris told you in that opening drive, this guy doesn't take sacks. It's one of the things taught from his dad, Patrick Nix, the Auburn quarterback in the mid-90s. You know, when your dad's a coach and a quarterback at a high level, you have these things ingrained. And from 8th grade, this is Bo, varsity quarterback, and dad right there in his ear the whole time.
Yeah, he says that now he teaches dad a few things here and there. But he said, you know how coaches are. They say the same thing over and over and over again. My dad did it. Sean does it, so he understands.
This look at the Denver defense is brought to you by Target. Well, you know about being between a rock and a hard place. How about the Rockies and the hard place that is the Denver defense? 17.5 points a game. That is 3rd in the NFL coming into this week, and the sack total's big. 49, most in the league through 11 games since 2000. Here are the guys getting it done. Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper on the edge, Zach Allen, 7th-year man from BC on the inside. Only team with a trio of players who've got 6 or more sacks. And there are a bunch of other guys who deserve attention as well. Everywhere you look, this defense is good. And the guy at the bottom of the screen is the reigning defensive player of the year, Pat Surtain. Come on in our production truck as our SNF sites are provided by Nationwide. Our fleet of trucks has been across the country. These are all the good people who bring you Sunday Night Football every week, and we've been crisscrossing the country last 15 days. Philly, out to LA, Baltimore, and here to DC, over 8,500 miles. Our drivers bringing the trucks across the country, and our whole team, engineers, camera operators, audio, the folks who support our production managing group, everyone, flying the Skycam gang, everybody. Thank you all. Job well done. So, Chris, you mentioned it earlier. What are they thinking about doing to this defense that, as we said before, is one of the best ones in the league?
Well, I think the biggest thing that they did was obviously they had Pat Surtain on the back end, and he's the top defensive player in the league a year ago. But this defensive line now runs 8-9 deep, and it is hard to come up with a scheme that's going to protect the quarterback against all of that.
Jump pass, Mariota intercepted. Chris, one of his big influences, Bill Parcells. It's kind of interesting. Sean Payton, Mr. Offense, with Drew Brees and the Saints. He's almost kind of evolved to more Parcellian as he gets older here.
Yeah, and he knows how to push buttons on players and coaches, right? And one of the assistant coaches on the Broncos was telling me one of the things I like the most. I've coached a lot of different places. People don't get away with anything here. When something happens that needs to be fixed right away, he fixes it, and it's on him, and it's over. And he said, I could coach a long time right here.
The Broncos, the 9-2 Broncos, lead by 6. NBA on NBC and Peacock, coast to coast Tuesday. Good one in Boston. The Jalen's, Brunson and Brown, the Knicks and Celtics, and the 19-1 Oklahoma City Thunder taking on Golden State. And we'll have our latest installment of Michael Jordan's Insights to Excellence. MJ talking about his love of the game. He had a clause in his contract about his love of the game, and it does impact how the players go about it today. You'll hear that from Michael Jordan coming up during our coverage on Tuesday night. In a timeout and a 2-minute warning for Bo Nix in that first-round class, 2024. This is year 2 now. And it's been rough for Jaden Daniels. Melissa just told you about that. J.J. McCarthy out in Minnesota. Michael Penix out with another knee injury. But at the front of the class, these are the best records here in the league. It's May at 10-2. Knicks trying to get to 10-2. Caleb Williams and the Bears are now the #1 seed. When you put their 2 years together, highest grades to Bo Nix. 19 wins to the playoffs last year, losing Buffalo, and looking like a playoff team again this year.
Coming up on the Toyota Halftime, strong words from the Steelers after a performance that was met with boos from their home fans. Plus, we'll announce more headline performers for Super Bowl 60. Mike?
All right. Look forward to that announcement. It's great, Maria. Super Bowl 60, Levi's Stadium, where Super Bowl 50 was. The Broncos winning that. Denver trying to join New England at 10-2. Patriots play tomorrow night, hosting the Giants. They're also trying to stay 2 clear of the Chargers and 4 clear of Kansas City, heading to the final 5 weeks of the season. So you got some LA fans, some KC fans, some Patriots fans rooting for the Commanders here tonight. It's that time of year. From the network that brought you The Office and Parks and Rec comes an all-new episode of TV's Feel Better comedy, St. Dennis Medical. You can watch it tomorrow on NBC. Stream it on Peacock. Then you can watch it on Peacock as you take the train from Union Station in D.C. The second-year man, 12th overall pick in the draft last year, Bo Nix.
No way when I try and kick a field goal here.
You only waited 1 more second, right? They take a knee, they'll get the ball to start. Second half will take it to the locker room at 13-7.
I sit with the fans on this one.
Washington played a good half, and as we said, they'll get the ball to start quarter number 3. Knicks leading that touchdown drive after the Washington touchdown drive, back-to-back to wrap up first half of play. To Melissa.
Sean, quite a play by Bo Nix there. How do you continue that kind of play in the second half?
Well, it's one of the things that he does so well is extend plays, and that was a perfect example. I mean, I can't, from the angle he threw that, look, I think it's going to be important that we have some balance in the second half, get this running game going.
And your defense is used to being dominant, but the Commanders have moved down the field. What adjustments do you want to say?
And look, they scored 7 points. I thought we did a good job turning the ball over, and it will be ready for the second half.
John, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Sean worked in the TV studio last year. He knows he got 8 seconds per answer.
He had the count in his ear.
That's right. Well, here comes the count right now. 6-5 to the Toyota halftime. Here's Maria Taylor. 3-2 to tell you what's coming up. Maria?
And 1. Thanks, Mike. All right, coming up on the Toyota halftime, we'll hear from the Steelers stars following their loss to the Bills. Plus, another big statement from the Texans defense. That's all coming up next.
Want more stats? Just ask Siri. Who leads the league in tackles? Tonight's first half coverage is presented by Progressive.
In the nation's capital, can the Commanders stop their slide? Can the Broncos stay hot? As we begin on this Sunday night, not too far ago.
He is just fired up.
Jump pass, Mariota intercepted. Greenlaw's got it. Up the middle to the end zone.
Progressive, insurance for coverage you can count on.
Quarter number 3, drive down the street right near Georgetown's campus. It's 13-7 Denver. Tonight's SNF storylines are powered by AWS. The quarterback numbers there. Bo Nix throwing it more. The 1 interception by Mariota for Washington. Now, in terms of Mariota and the time to throw, 2.4 seconds. That's the fastest anyone's had against Denver this season, because the Broncos have the highest pressure rate in the league, but they're getting there at a season low because Marcus is getting rid of it so quick. And the offense for Washington is doing what they set out to do. They're running against this elite defense. 4 10-plus yard rushes is the most against the Broncos thus far this year. A bit of how we've arrived at Denver 13, Washington 7. The Commanders have lost their last 6. They have more losses than they did all of last year when they were 12-5. Denver Broncos 9-2, won 8 in a row. And Sean Payton and Bo Nix trying to steer the ship right to the top of the AFC along with New England. Patriots host the Giants in Foxborough tomorrow night. Deebo Samuel gets it going. Return from the 3. Fumbled the last one. Delivers the blow there to the 27. Here's Dan Quinn with Melissa a moment ago.
Dan, how do you evaluate the performance of Marcus Mariota and the offense in the first half?
You know, we just got done. The run action, that's going to be where the big plays can come from. We thought, we got to stay committed in the run game. All right, on the edges, see if we can pop one to go. But getting the ball here to start the second half is the exact kind of fight we wanted to be in.
And it's your second game calling the plays on defense. What adjustments will you make?
Honestly, like third down, we like where we're at, but we still have to find some ways to create some negative plays to get the ball. So that's what we need to do to play our best here in the second half. But I like the fight. I know where we'd be into this spot. Now we got to go get it.
Dan, thanks.
Inside for not much. You go back, Mariota out of Oregon, drafted Tennessee, just under 500 in his 5 years starting there, and then bounced around with a couple of stops, backed up Jalen Hurts most recently a few years ago with Philadelphia, had that 13-game starting run in Atlanta, but was such an important add here as Jaden Daniels came in, gave him a veteran to learn from, an example to follow, and it's been symbiotic. The two have learned stuff from each other, and Marcus has picked up some of the things that Jaden does. Out quick. Last Sunday, we were sitting on this because it was the 10th anniversary to the date of the Sunday Night Football Odell Beckham Jr. That's the greatest catch I've ever seen, somebody said on that touchdown. With the Giants at MetLife against Dallas. So I present you this, Mr. Wide Receiver. In the neighborhood?
In the neighborhood.
How close? Next door?
Couple of blocks away.
Couple of blocks? Come on, a couple of blocks. He's up in the air. He's getting knocked down. Look at Jaden Daniels.
I mean,
look at Bo Nix.
You gotta acknowledge what Odell did, though. I mean, he got fouled, he got pushed, he went down, he got a second foot down in bounds. It was insane. It was a 50-yard throw. It was all the
30-yard line. I agree with you.
The catch,
having some fun.
The catch is as good. Now, you know what I mean? It was the difference between a 10-yard pass and making that catch and a 50-yard pass and getting 2 feet down and staying in bounds and 3 fingers and you pull the thing down. It was insane.
Yeah, but you see Riley Moss is like just contacting him while he's in the air and he's still concentration.
So you're saying Moss got mossed?
Very good.
Thank
You're
you very
saying
much.
it's very good.
All right, that's good.
That was Burke's second career touchdown catch, that one.
That was a good one.
That's a pretty good second.
That's a good second. I can't wait for the third.
It's the best second touchdown catch in the history of the NFL. He takes the lead. Rushing touchdown number 3 for the rookie Harvey. And the Broncos are up 6. Sunday Night Football brought to you by Walmart. Shop Black Friday deals and score big. Now online. And by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL. Let's go places. High school football playoff time around the country. West Springfield defeating Lake Braddock 28-14. Advancing to the Virginia semifinals. They've got North Stafford next weekend. A bunch of state championships played over Thanksgiving weekend. Many in NFL venues. At the 14-yard line, Denver takes over there, leading by 6. 3/4 of a minute left here in the third from our nation's capital. We're at least 10 miles away from all these beautiful spots. We are less than 10 weeks away from the Winter Olympics in Italy. All the beauty of Milan Cortina. You'll see it starting Friday, February 6th, opening ceremony on NBC. And of course, you'll see every medal, every event on Peacock. That's the Potomac Curling Club. Not far from here. One day, Mr. Collinsworth will get you out to the sheet and do some curling.
Pretty good in shuffleboard. Does that have any?
Maybe translatable.
Yeah, well, Florida. Yeah.
Just keep telling yourself that. That'll be fine. Tonight's SNF sites are provided by Nationwide, the George Washington Masonic National Memorial, located in Alexandria, Virginia. You cruise there, maybe add that to your sightseeing next time you come on through the nation's capital and the area right around. Here's Josh Harris, year 3, owning this Washington franchise. Seated to his left, on your right, Bob Myers, now the president of the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment, the multiple teams. Bob helped build the championship teams at Golden State, now working the Sixers, the Devils, and of course here the Commanders, part of the Harris Blitzer Sports Empire. Partner, we got company Sunday night. Next Sunday, the Ultimate Watch Party, the Reality Hot Seat, Boston Rob Mariano, Heather Gay, Justin Sylvester, Kate Chastain. They're all going to celebrate the drama that makes the NFL obsession-worthy. So it's reality stars watching the game with you. Streaming live on Peacock next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The DC Downtown Holiday Market, as it is that time of year. Final hour and 16 minutes of November here on the East Coast. Tomorrow, December 1, you go, oh my goodness, I'm running out of time already.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Thinking our next few games, where am I going shopping?
45 on the punt. All net. The Jefferson Memorial.
We're there.
Walton Penner Family Group owning this team now. Greg Penner, CEO, Carrie Walton Penner. They have seen a great turnaround in Denver. His team 9-2 after the playoffs last year. Penner family eyes on a new stadium in Denver. A lot of conversation about that. And some beautiful plans. 2031, the hopes. Just one of the best sports cities in the country, and their family adding to that with some terrific ownership of the Broncos here, who lead. Off to Kansas City next week. Massive game for both of these teams. C.J. Stroud comes back. Houston wins in Indianapolis today. And Kansas City, as we know, often lost to Dallas, now 6-6. Teams that have work to do in the AFC. See you next Sunday night from KC. Football Night gets us started at 7 Eastern Time for the Broncos. So isn't it fun when one team has lost this many in a row, 6 in a row like Washington has, and Denver's won 8 in a row? You're like, this game isn't going to be good. But every December you see these games end up being close, and it just speaks to culture and what's going on in locker rooms and in franchises, how much you play this well, even with a bad record.
Yeah, and Terry McLaurin's return, I think, definitely has been a factor. Bobby Wagner's having a big game out there. Deron Payne. So some of the veteran guys that are the reason you bring those guys in, because you know they'll never quit. Yeah. They may not be as talented as they once were, but they'll never quit, and we've seen that out of Washington tonight.
And if they can get a play here, they'll have a chance to come back and end that losing streak. Final 2 coming up. Washington down 3. Right after the game, Chevrolet postgame. Melissa with the stars of the game. We'll look at the big storylines from today. Preview next Sunday. All coming up after the game. Washington for the win. Mariota has it rejected by Benito. And Denver has won 9 in a row.
They had a walk-in touchdown. They had a walk-in touchdown. All they had to do was get it over the head of Nick Benito, who is known for his sacks, 9.5 on the year, and they had the play called perfectly. The blitz was the perfect setup for it. The total pick was made, and there was no way that wasn't going to be a touchdown or a 2-point conversion.
Nick Benito, second team All-Pro last year. One of the top edge rushers. There's the guys who come and open.
There's the defender, Hufanga, who had to come over and watch him get picked. Absolutely wide open for the 2-point conversion and the win, but for Benito's long arms.
Oh, he gets up too, and as you said, Chris, that's the 86th snap of the night. Benito's been on the field for so many of them in the key spot. Marcus Mariota had such a good performance tonight for this Washington Commanders team. Good performances everywhere on this field.
And if Mariota had it to do over again, he could have thrown it about as high as he wanted to, because there was nobody there. I'm sure he saw him and just wanted to get the ball to him, and just give credit to Nick Benito. He made the play, but I never say I'm proud of a team, but Washington showed up. I'm telling you, they fought their tails off out there tonight against a really good team.
The Denver Broncos' 9th win in a row after trailing at some point in each game. That's the longest streak in NFL history. Dan Quinn's not alone. A lot of guys have been so close. But Nick Benito and the Denver Broncos come up with big play after big play in the fourth quarter or in overtime. Marcus Mariota came this close to a tremendous comeback win. But instead, Denver goes to 10-2, tied atop the AFC. Chevrolet postgame after this.
Welcome to the Chevrolet postgame. Here now, Mike Tirico.
Chris and I are just discussing overtime strategy here. So glad you came back. Denver 27, Washington 26. In overtime, both teams score a touchdown. Denver gets the extra point. Washington goes for 2, and they are denied. So the Commanders have lost their last 7 games. Meantime, Denver, this 9-game win streak after the 1-2 start, has Denver, at least for the next 24 hours, as the #1 seed. New England plays tomorrow night. At the moment, the common games tiebreaker slides Denver into the 1 spot and New England into the 2. But again, we'll have a result with New England tomorrow. Jacksonville, Baltimore, you see division leaders, the 3, 8, and 4 wild card teams. Houston and Kansas City we'll discuss momentarily next Sunday night. Huge games for the teams that are chasing. Our players of the game in this one tonight. Of course, with the play at the end, Nick Benito's going to be up there. But Bo Nix and R.J. Harvey are as well. But you cannot forget Alex Singleton, what he came through to be on the field here tonight. And those stars standing by with Melissa Stark.
All right, Mike, well, Bo Nix just saying, I can't believe that football game. What is going through your mind when the defense holds them off down there?
Well, we always feel like if we get the ball to the defense, they're going to make a play to win the game, and they did it again. And time after time, you know, they could have broken there in the last drive, but they just, you know, made the last stand, and we just make plays when we have to. RJ, the Rook, played real good tonight. You know, it's just, we have a great football team. We have a football team that cares a lot about one another, and it's great to be a Bronco, man. We're headed in the right direction.
That's awesome. All right, the Rook over here. You're filling in for the injured J.K. Dobbins. 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. How did you come up so big?
Yeah, shout out to the whole offense, the whole O-line. You know, we executed. It was a great drive by us, and this is probably the most craziest game I've been a part of. So I'm just happy we won.
Love that smile. All right, Alex, come on in here, because you told me before the game you were going to have to try to hold it together after the weirdest 3 weeks of your life, being diagnosed with testicular cancer, having surgery, and coming back. What were your emotions tonight?
Yeah, you know, I just love these guys. I love this league, you know. The guys on the other teams coming over, giving me support after this. Like, I mean, there's nothing else you could ever want in this world, but this team, it's special. I'm just happy to be a part of it. I love these guys. And
wait, and you really laid it on the line. We have to see this. What happened here?
I lost a knee pad.
All right, you'll have to go get that. But congratulations, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, great win all the way across the board. 4 straight wins by 3 or fewer points for Denver. They've won by 3, 3, 3, and 1 the last 4 games. That ties the longest single-season streak in NFL history for winning games by 3 or less. The 86 Giants won 4 in a row by 3 or less. Bo Nix continues to play winning football here in year 2 in his NFL career. Exhale, what a day of football from early on to the very last snap. We'll show you the best of when we come back.
Welcome back to the Chevrolet postgame.
Time now for your Peacock Picks of the Week. Spend some time with the Banks family. It's the final season of Bel Air, streaming now. Bring the adventure home with Jurassic World Rebirth. And join your favorite reality stars as they break down all the drama of next Sunday's Texans-Chiefs game live on Sunday Night Football. Reality Hot Seat. I'm sure they'll be having the overtime discussion as well. That'll start. Maybe you can join them?
Yeah, why not?
At 8 Eastern on Peacock. And right now, Sunday Night Football final with Jack, Tony, and Rodney. Pat Surtain's going to join them on the set. That's right now on Peacock. All right, today, AFC South clearing its throat. Jacksonville gets a win over Tennessee. They are 8-4. Houston gets the win against Indianapolis. That game tight throughout. 4 games in a row. C.J. Stroud back for the Texans. We'll talk about them more in a little bit. We'll see them against Kansas City next Sunday night. Buffalo, sluggish early, turns it on, gets a big defensive play, and on to beat Pittsburgh, which has now lost 5 of their last 7. And the Carolina Panthers continue to improve. They beat a team that we saw last week at the Rams, said, wow, Rams could be the best team in the league. They come east to Charlotte. Bryce Young has a 3-touchdown pass game, including this big one to Teteroa McMillan, a 43-yarder. Latter stages of the 4th quarter to put Carolina up 31-28. And then the strip sack, Derek Brown. They also intercepted Matthew Stafford in this game and closed it out under pressure. And Chris, it's one of the many good stories this year. Teams that you didn't expect would be good. And then you said, well, it was a nice start. Maybe they'll go away. That's a great, great win in Charlotte for Carolina.
I'm finished anointing. Anointing has not gone well this year.
No.
Would you agree with that?
1000%.
Like, how many teams have we anointed? Oh, for sure, Philadelphia, that's the best team in football, and then they get beat. And we go out and we watch the Rams. Oh, for sure, the Rams. I heard all day today. I'm watching all the shows and doing all that. Everybody was anointing the Rams. It's been a bad year for anointers. I'll just say that.
And a great year in places like Charlotte and Foxborough, Indianapolis for a stretch, and Jacksonville resurgent. It is fun to see these teams continue to have a voice and make an impact as we go into now the key part of the month. It's December.
You know, and you sit out here and you watch Denver play tonight, and they have won 10 in a row. Like that.
I know.
I mean, it's been crazy. I can't imagine the Broncos fans, what they've been going through, but they keep winning those games. And if they land with home field advantage, it's them in New England now sort of battling it out. Who's going to end up getting it? But this has been a crazy fun, one of my favorite seasons that we've been around for a long time.
Because every time we say they're going to lose this game, go, nope, that's not happening.
I know.
The 4-win Bengals are 2 games out with 5 to go. I know you weren't with us on Thursday. I just thought I'd tell you. Cortland Sutton and the Broncos had some kind of night again. And Chris mentioned it. 4 consecutive wins by a total of 10 points. Greeting the Broncos fans, many of whom traveled here to enjoy their team on the East Coast. We'll look ahead to the Chiefs, who are getting to the cliff against CJ and the Texans. Next Sunday night preview comes up after this.
Welcome back to the Chevrolet postgame.
During this time of the year, what does it take to win with this much pressure?
The best defense in the league delivers in the biggest moment.
Can you find what it takes
Touchdown, Kansas City!
to rise up
Got him! Let's go!
and break through? We'll see Sunday night. Texans,
Yeah, boy!
Chiefs.
Hey, let's find a way!
Well, we'll have a bunch of big star names, and when the Chiefs have the ball, Will Anderson and that terrific Houston defense tops in the league in points per game and yards per game. We try to continue to slow down a Chiefs team that has just not kicked into that next gear. So in this division with the Denver win, Kansas City is now 4 out with 5 to go. So that's likely done. A few weeks ago we did this, and you said they'll be fine. Kansas City will be fine. If I ask the same thing now?
If they win this game, I mean, we just saw Buffalo a week ago really struggle against that defense, right? Kind of got beat up, and Josh 8 sacks, whatever it was. And then Buffalo turned around and beat up Pittsburgh pretty good today, so it wasn't like it was Buffalo. So if the Kansas City Chiefs are going to stay alive this season, they're going to have to do it against one of the best defenses in the land, and pressure is on Patrick Mahomes to get it done.
It's crazy we're having that conversation in week 14, because now they're a couple back in the wild card. The division 4 back with 5 to go, that's almost done, but they've got work to do with the wild card, not just one game, multiple games here.
Can you even imagine this offseason telling somebody that the Kansas City Chiefs would be playing for their playoff life with, what, 4 weeks still to go?
Week 14. Right.
It's crazy.
Right. And we've said must win, important game. Now it's really getting to that edge for Kansas City. So Arrowhead will be cold next Sunday night, so we'll do casual Sunday once again, and we'll see you. We're one of the big ones, Houston and Kansas City, on a good slate for week 14 in the NFL. And that's tomorrow morning on Today. Go inside the game at the Commanders' state-of-the-art recovery center. Get a behind-the-scenes look at the cutting-edge treatments that help players maintain performance, treat injuries, and get back on the field. The Recovery Center is the story tomorrow morning on Today right here on NBC. We're all going to a recovery center after this weekend. Great weekend. Our amazing team pulling it all together. These 2 games on Thursday and Sunday. Thank you all, led by our producer, Rob Hyland, our director, Drew Esikoff, and everyone else down in the trucks down here working in the stadium. With Chris Collinsworth, Terry McCauley, Melissa Stark, Mike Tirico. So long from Landover in a thriller in overtime. The Broncos beat Washington 27-26.
NBC Sports, home of Super Bowl 60. Thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.